I have to get behind the scenes footage.
Oh, this already has a pair of headphones hooked up. Hello and welcome to week 3 of our lovely new vlog series. And I appreciate all the emails and the phone calls and the feedback that came back from the cow story. I want to let you know I'm probably going to have to bring in a few people and do some definitive full story behind the scenes on that, because Peter Elsner called me and reminded me of some stuff, and then Paul, my fellow buddy from Riddle Me This Days, he actually sent over an email this morning and reminded me of a great story I completely forgot about involving pig's feet and Dave. And there's a lot of, I'm just going to bring Paul in here one day and let him kind of riff off those ideas with me, because there was a lot more to that than we kind of scratched the surface last week. But I'm going to let some of that stuff come in, and then we're going to do a special series on that, because that thing you could almost have its own show about. But I did want to talk a little bit today. We just finished up recording Back in Blue, this new album I'm going to put out. We finished the rhythm section stuff yesterday, and I'll knock it out over the weekend, and we'll finally get this thing out before the New Orleans shows. And it made me think a lot about goal accomplishment and why we do the things that we do. And it's equally important to realize that a lot of it's counterintuitive. Now, we've all heard, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That is true, and you can do that. But most people, they don't see money right. They don't see it. It's time. How do you spend your time? You know, when I was young, I fell in love with the guitar, and I didn't realize it, but I probably spent 4 to 6 hours a day playing that thing until I was 20, and I got really good at it. And you're going to do that too if you do anything. You know, if you're doing photography 4, 5, 6 hours a day, if you're working on rapping, acting, cooking. But how do you spend your time? So I see a lot of people who tell me, well, you know, I want to be a great guitar player, and they don't spend any time doing that. They actually spend a whole lot of time making pizzas. Well, then maybe you should get in the pizza business, because that's how you spend all your time. So you see, it's your time. That's the only thing you really have a limited amount of. And it's counterintuitive when you start thinking about, well, who thinks about money more than anyone? I like to ask this question to people a lot. And the most popular answer, 80% of the time, people tell me, oh, rich people. They think about money all the time. And that's not the right answer. You know who thinks about money all the time? Poor people. And they don't have it, you know? And if you look at the people who go to pawn shops, people who buy lottery tickets, it's often a really lower income bracket, and they get stuck there. And it's also a pretty well-known fact. There's plenty of documented cases of people who win the lottery and lose it all within a year or two because they don't have the financial muscles to maintain it. As a guitar player, I get asked probably more than anything. We'll have a couple of clips of me playing a solo from the last session just to show you what's coming up. But I get asked about my technique and how I play the guitar fast. Well, success leaves clues. You know, I modeled Al Di Meola and Yngwie Malmsteen and people who had really refined technique, and I noticed they were relaxed. But also, I want to bring up another point, is that I never really tried to play fast, you see, because if you try to play fast, it eludes you. So I was always really relaxed, just set up the first note, and I would do things that way. And I just naturally was able to play fast after a long time of doing that. And another thing is I try to kind of keep hanging around people that keep me on my toes. I don't like to be the most interesting guy in the room. You know, I like to get around people who are movers and shakers. That's why I love the acting class that I'm in. There's a lot of movers and shakers there. Everybody's a mover and shaker in there. And I also want to talk about that. You should always try to be the worst guy in your band. I learned that from Clint Strong. I think Clint told me that Merle told him that, Merle Haggard. But if you think about, Merle Haggard had one of the greatest bands in the business, and Clint Strong was in that band, and Clint's a great guitar player, good friend of mine, love the guy. And we talk about that a lot. You know, and I look at, you'll see on the video, the guys I'm playing with now, and it reminds me, you know, I'm good at the guitar, and I work really hard on it, but I got a group of people around me who are damn good at what they do, and can do all kinds of things that I cannot do, so it kind of keeps me on my toes, you know. And that's something that I recommend is do. Try to be the worst guy in your band. It doesn't have to be a musical situation, even the business that you're in. Surround yourself with brilliant people who can help you accomplish your goals. And remember, your income too is related to the 5 people you hang around the most. And that's a little bit counterintuitive. So that's why I wanted to say until next time. And we've got the album done. We've got a great little bit of tour coming up. So make sure and follow us on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. and go to the YouTube channel and you'll see this and all the other things that we're doing here for the fall. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much. And one more thing, I'm going to share something with you that Dave Berkson, a real good buddy of mine who's Jewish, and taught me this, and I like it. Now, I don't remember where he first got the story, but you can think of the lottery like a poor man's tax. So what does that mean? Well, generally, most of the people who buy lottery tickets, not all of them, but generally, most of the people are not in a bracket where they're making a whole lot of money. So they have that dream, so they go buy lottery tickets. So in a way, the state has basically figured out a way to tax the people they couldn't tax. So don't waste your money on lottery tickets. Just do what you love. You know, think about that. Because if me or you started a raffle, we'd get arrested. But the state can do it, you know. So it's kind of a rip-off and a scam. So do what you love. That's the moral of the story.